I request Rotarian Sanjay Arora, who is past Assistant Governor from Rotary Club of Nagpur North, to escort our guests for the next session. Guests are Mrs. Pallavi Utagi and Mr. Piyush Somani to their seats on the stage.
A very, very good morning, everyone. Are we ready to count some greenbacks? Paisa, paisa, paisa? Yeah? Good. So I have to, I guess, एक हम मार्केटिंग में शब्द का इस्तेमाल करते हैं which is called contrast effect. तो दो जगह में एक contrast effect देख रहा हूँ. क्या होता है अगर आपको एक 500 रुपए की चीज़ बेचनी हो तो आप उसको 1000 रुपए की चीज़ के अगेंस्ट रख दो तो 500 रुपए की चीज़ ज़्यादा बिकती है. तो आज दो तरीके से मैं इसको यहाँ देख पा रहा हूँ. एक तो आशा जी I believe had some, she had to get even with me on something, so she placed her slot right after Vivek's slot, which you know how difficult it is. So contrast effect at work. सस्ता वाला माल यहाँ पे है. And also amongst two wonderfully young people, she's placed a 60-year-old. So yeah, you look more attractive now against us. So with this much ado, we are here to understand India, a land of 140 crore people, of which 66% or roughly 80 million of us, not us, 80 million of Indians are under the age of 35, which is officially called the youth of India. The population youth dividend that we call it, right? With such a large youth population, you imagine if only 1% of us became entrepreneurs. This country would be more developed than the most developed nation on this planet today, with just 1% of the population becoming startups or entrepreneurs. Wैसे, on the other hand, on the flip side, you will be surprised that we are third largest as far as number of startups in the world is concerned, and also third largest in number of unicorns in the world. I hope you understand and get the import of that. हम दुनिया में भले ही बहुत पीछे हैं अदर चीज़ों में, पर number of unicorns में already number 3 हैं, despite all the laws that go against setting up a business. But then it is not all cakewalk. Only about 10% of startups actually succeed. 90% of startups that somehow begin off succumb in the first 5 years, of which about 15% in the first year itself. So if there are people sitting with us who have seen through these 5 years and are very, very successful, we ideally should be keeping quiet and listening to them as to what did they do just right? What were the pitfalls? Of course, they would have faced huge challenges. How did they overcome them? How can those sitting amongst us, our children maybe also, if they're wanting to start something on their own, what could be those mantras? And that is what we need to understand from these two lovely people here who are so successful, have built personal brands as well as corporate and product brands for themselves. So what I have got in terms of a format is, we'll give them 5-7 minutes each to quickly encapsulate their life journey, their schooling, college, etc. very briefly, and then talk a little about how did they get into the startup mode, what happened, how did they see it through, where they are today, and how do they see the next 3 years. How do they see the next 3 years? Because we also want to know your vision going forward. Is that fair enough? Yeah. So we'll start with the lady here. Pallavi, please.
Pallavi Utagi, an engineering alumna from Government College of Engineering, Pune, and the visionary founder and CEO of Super Bottoms, India's leading sustainable mom and baby essentials brand. With an MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai, she blends technical prowess with marketing and brand management acumen. Pallavi's professional journey, spanning multinationals like Strides Acrolab Limited, Piramal Healthcare and Sanofi, took a profound turn when she entered motherhood. Identifying a gap in the conscious Indian baby care market, particularly in sustainable diapering solution, she embarked on the mission of creating Super Bottoms. As a mother herself, Pallavi champions sustainable living and conscious parenting, instilling these values at the core of Super Bottoms. This passion project has garnered support from influential investors like Alia Bhatt, Mariso Family Office, and more. Beyond her entrepreneurial pursuits, Pallavi is a life-curious individual who revels in exploring life's diverse facets. Her optimism, proactive nature, and inspiring journey make her a role model for many. Let us extend a warm welcome to a woman who not only envisions change but actively brings it to life. Please put your hands together for Pallavi Utagi.
I'll start with my journey, and my journey began. Of course, there was education, all of that. I'm a true hardcore Nashikkar, but I studied in Pune, I studied in Bombay. My journey began when I became a mother, and like a lot of parents in this room, आपको बताया गया होगा कि लंगोट और डायपर, डिस्पोजेबल डायपर, ये जो डायलेमा था, I was also facing that. Right? On one hand, my mother told me कि लंगोट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा use करो, but I was a sleep deprived new mother और मुझे disposable diapers बहुत अच्छे लग रहे थे. But somewhere I also read that every disposable diaper stays in landfills for 500 years. Every single disposable diaper. So any disposable diaper ever used is somewhere sitting in some landfill in the world, even today. And every baby uses 3,000 to 5,000 disposable diapers. Now you do the math, and please understand this is going to become a huge waste management problem very, very soon. In US, it already is. In India, thankfully, it is not, but we are fast moving towards it. So somewhere this gave me and my husband a lot of sleepless nights saying हम इतना सारा plastic डाल रहे डब्बे में just because we don't want to clean poopy diapers. But then we started thinking, why don't people adopt sustainable solutions? सबको पता है प्लास्टिक खराब है, सबको पता है सस्टेनेबिलिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है, सबको पता है प्लानट की वाट लग रही है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, बट हम क्यों नहीं करते? Because sustainability is not convenient, right? So we decided to make sustainability convenient, and we started to work on a lot of diapers which would give parents the performance of disposable diapers in cloth, so that it was a combination of traditional plus modern. So, and our baby was very small, he couldn't complain, so we experimented a lot on him. So every day we used to try a new diaper on him, make notes and etc. etc. And that's how Super Bottoms began. I was on a maternity break, I had time, but when I, as a new mother, went out to look for a job, the corporate world rejected me. They said, "यार new mom है, कैसे काम करोगे? Marketing नहीं होता." And I'm sure people in this room might relate to this. New mothers are often not given opportunities in the corporate world. So when I started to expand my team, I hired new mothers because I realized that new moms is a workforce which the corporate world is ignoring. And I, as a bootstrap startup, which did not have a lot of money to pay people, mothers were there and I told them, listen, you work for me for 2 hours, 2 घंटा काम कर लो, कभी भी काम कर लो, but work for me. And it was a win-win for, they also got good work, I also got great people very early on. So my first employee was one of the top 10 digital planners of 2015. And I got to work with her as a startup. I'm sure there are many businessmen in this room and you will understand that a small company getting a very qualified person is not easy. But we got that because we hired new mothers. So our core team is all mothers who run the business, right from finance to operations to marketing to product development, everything is run by moms. And we actively hire new mothers because we feel that that is where our strength lies. After that, of course, one fine day I got a call from Kunal Bell, who is the founder of Snapdeal. And he said, listen, my baby is using Super Bottoms. I like it. Do you want investment? So I said, okay, why not? And that is when my passion project became a business. From there, we grew from strength to strength. So one fine day I got a call from Kunal saying, धंधा कितना हुआ? तो मैंने बोला कुछ हुआ, monthly run rate हमारा तब कुछ 40-50 लाख का था. So he said, पिछले महीने भी तो इतना ही हुआ था. तो मैंने बोला हाँ तो he said, Pallavi, if you are not growing, you are not doing justice to your business and yourself. बोले 1 करोड़ कर डालो अभी दिवाली तक. मैंने बोला ठीक है चलो करते हैं. So that got to me, and that is when I started thinking like a business. तब तक I was thinking like a small home business. I was still thinking like a a passion project कि side में कुछ कर रहे हैं, बच्चा भी देख रहे हैं, business भी कर रहे हैं. But the day Kunal called me and told me कि 1 करोड़ कर डाल पल्लवी अभी बस हो गया, I said हाँ, why am I not doing it? There's money in the bank, I should do it. And we hit like a 1 crore in run rate in the next 2 months. Run rate is monthly run rate. But after that, of course, there was more investment coming in, a lot of milestones achieved, a lot of challenges. A day in an entrepreneur's life is like a sinusoidal curve. If, you know, at one point you're like, oh my God, I'm doing amazing. And the next moment you're like, this is not working out. So that keeps on happening even today. But at some point, we got Alia Bhatt as an investor. And she was using super bottoms on her baby. She loved the product, and you know, whenever a celebrity got pregnant and we reached out, Pampers used to reach before us and offer much more money than we could, and we never had a chance. But with Alia, she wanted to invest in a sustainable brand which was saving the planet, etc., etc. It worked with her image, and that is how we got her on board. And as for next few years, I think we will want to prevent as many disposable diapers as possible from going into landfills. I think till now we have, according to our estimate, we have prevented somewhere around 4.5 million, which is 4.5 million disposable diapers from going and sitting into landfills. That's a lot of plastic saved, and thank you. So as a business, our vision is to save as much plastic as possible from going into landfills. And as a personal agenda, I would like to give as many women and new moms especially employment as I possibly can. Thank you.
I guess when a young just become mother looks at poop and gets ideas, and rather than thinking of creating the right kind of child, also wants to create the right kind of planet for the child, she needs a bigger applause, doesn't she? Thank you. And now the gentleman in the house, yeah, sir, your story.
Piyush Somani's journey is a testament to a life driven by a dream to innovate. Born into a middle-class family, Piyush's early exposure to hard work and dedication came from his father's 33-year service at Bank of Baroda. An electronics engineer from Pune University, he started his career in electronics, but embraced the realm of web hosting in 2005, founding ESDS Software Solution Private Limited. His leadership catapulted ESDS to international acclaim, spanning 19 countries. Piyush's foresight led to pioneering technologies, thus entering global markets, building green data centers, and introducing the innovative Enlight Cloud platform. Under Piyush's guidance, ESDS embraced innovation from pay-per-consume billing system to cloud consultancy services. His commitment to excellence manifested in numerous awards, including Best Tech Brand and Best Promising Business Leader of Asia. Beyond achievements, Piyush Somani embodies resilience, commitment, and an unwavering focus on customer satisfaction. Let's welcome on stage a true trailblazer in technology and a leader who transforms visions into reality. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Piyush Somani.
Yes, so we had a wonderful session from Mr. Vivek Agnihotri, and the main word that I caught from his talk was Satya, truth. And my journey as an entrepreneur also revolves around that search only. I started my rather entrepreneurship, or I would say my life has all been about passion only. I've been extremely, extremely passionate about everything that I did. Like since my childhood itself, I was extremely fond of planting trees. Literally anywhere I would find place and I would go and plant trees over there. And people would call me whenever they bought a new house, whenever they did anything, they just asked me to come there. And I did that for them, just out of my passion. In my college days also, when people came, I studied in Amrutwaini College of Engineering, Sangamner. And when students came from other cities, other countries, I would go for them to the railway station, book tickets for them. And my father would say, कि तेरे को बचपन से ही आदत लगी हुई है लोगों के काम फ्री में करते रहना है और खुद का कुछ सोचना नहीं है why do you do this and I had no clue something happened with me during engineering first year of engineering I failed that first year of engineering and then I came in my father's hand like he immediately told me that now 1 year you have to sit home you have to learn computers I told my father that, Dad, I have sworn that I will never touch a computer in my life. मैंने जब महाभारत देखी थी तब भीष्म प्रतिज्ञा ली थी कि मैं जिंदगी में कभी कंप्यूटर को हाथ नहीं लगाऊंगा. So my father said कि तू क्या तेरा बाप भी कंप्यूटर को हाथ लगाएगा, चल तेरे को कंप्यूटर सीखना ही पड़ेगा करके. And it's been that day and now that not even a single day or not even a single minute happens when during the daytime I am not operating a laptop or a computer or a mobile device to reply some emails, to solve some problems, to collect some information. Computer has transformed my life. And then when I came into when I completed my engineering and I chose to become an entrepreneur, immediately in first 2 years of entrepreneurship, suddenly I had to go through a lot of trauma, I had to go through a lot of chaos. And in just 2 years' time, we reached a stage where we had to, we were almost on the verge of closing down. So this was October, November 2006. It had been just 2 years after starting my journey as an entrepreneur, and I was left with single penny in my account. My father's bank account, I had actually withdrawn everything from there also, nothing in my mother's bank account. But in my heart, there was absolutely no fear. So I asked myself that as per everyone else around me, my staff members, like I had 60 people working for me that time. Out of those, 35 people had resigned and they left. Only 25 people had faith in me. And I was very positive that at least these 25 people have faith in me. My family has faith in me. Something will happen. Something positive will happen. And I asked myself that how come you have brought this positive feeling inside you? What has made you think so positive? And I realized that when I failed in first year of engineering, I thought that that was my end, that was end of everything for me. Because since my childhood, I was afraid of failure. I never wanted to fail. And that failure hit me really, really hard. But then because of that failure, I was able to learn computers. Because of that failure, I was able to overcome fear of failure. And because of all the passion, all the energetic things that I was doing since my childhood, I said like, there is so much more for me to do now. Even if this fails, let's say in a month's time, 2 months' time, I am not able to pay salaries and then everyone else will also leave me, will I be able to continue? I said, yes, I will be able to continue. And let me tell you that just when nothing was left with me, that how will I make the next month's salary, suddenly all the hard work that I had done for last 6 months, it started paying off. What we did, so 6 months I had hired some freshers. Fresh people who had just passed out their BCom, BA, BSc, I hired them and we started doing research on internet. That how to become popular on internet, how to get more traffic from internet. And Google was a search engine that was very, very new in those days. I hope a lot of people would have come across Google after 2007, 2008, but 2006, when Google was hardly a year old in the market, and it started becoming popular, we said that this search engine is going to dominate the world. And from the beginning of 2006, me and my team of this 20, 21-year-old boys, we started working on Google search. And we understood that to be successful on Google, to appear on Google, you have to do certain Google search engine optimization. We started doing that. We kept on doing that for 6, 7 months, but results were not coming. But we were very, very confident. We would start at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and we all would end our day at 6 a.m. every morning. 2 p.m. to 6 a.m., we would work regularly. And I treated my team so harshly. I told them that every day we will work like this only. So we heard Narayan Murthy saying that 70 hours a week, 70 hours a week. In those days, we worked for literally 120 hours a week. So there was no Saturday and there was no Sunday. And let me tell you, each and every person who worked with me in those days is a successful entrepreneur today. They are doing something on their own, or they are a consultant and they are on their own now. They don't need to be taught anything. They don't need supervision of anyone. Because of the kind of effort that they put with me in those days, we became so successful that the business I was running, every month our numbers were multiplying. So I had one of my friend living in the UK, he had handed over his UK web hosting business to me, and a friend and a customer in the US, he also handed over his small, it was a very, very small web hosting company, like doing a turnover. One was doing a turnover of $500 a month, and the other was doing turnover of 5,000 pounds a month. And from that, we reach 5 million pounds a year, from just 5,000 pounds a month to 5 million pounds a year in just 3 years' time from there. Same kind of growth we experience in the US company also. And imagine we were on a day between October, November, Diwali 2006, we were about to close down, and about October, November 2009, we were cash surplus that we built. We bought a land in Nashik, we built a data center in Nashik, we launched our web hosting, cloud company, data center services out of Nashik. So it was all about our hard work and how much you want to be successful, how desperately you want to be successful. And that gave me that idea that nothing in the life can get you down. If you think that there is no money available, there is no capital available in the market, there are so many large investment groups in the market who have got a lot of capital, who are wanting to put capital in the companies, but we do not manage to reach out to them. We do not manage to collect. Like author Brian Tracy, in one of his books, he has mentioned very clearly that there is a lot of capital available. There are a lot of people who have got strong relationships, like Rotarians. They have got the best relationships in the world. One relationship, as per Brian Tracy, can take your career, take your business at least 5 to 10 years ahead. You can fast forward 5 to 10 years with right connections. That hit my mind, that if you build relationship, if you meet right kind of people, and not always with an intent to do business, but to connect, to network, because someday, somewhere that relationship clicks and it works for you. And when you meet right people, intelligent people, or truthful people, they give you their energy. This entire world is all about energy. I don't believe that there is nothing that has energy in it. Everyone sitting here is full of energy. And if we apply the Einstein's law, if we apply the energy law, E equals to mc square, each and every person sitting here is more powerful than a nuclear bomb. That is the kind of energy that we carry in each of us, and that is the energy, that is the power of the relationships. One relationship takes you anywhere. And today we have 5 data centers in India. We are in the process of launching 3 more data centers in India, and now we are expanding abroad. A very large European investor group is getting onboarded. The announcements would happen soon. I cannot disclose the names. But through that kind of partnership, we are looking forward to expand massively within India and abroad as well.
From the darkest night comes the brightest sun. And therefore, from the rock bottom to great heights, that's Piyush's story. ताली बराबर नहीं बजी लेकिन. Thank you. तो स्टार्टअप्स की ना एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात भी होती है. एक बार एक 19-20 साल का लड़का अपने पिताजी को अप्रोच करता है. आई हैव अ ब्रिलियंट आइडिया, आई वांट टू डू अ स्टार्टअप, मी एंड माय फ्रेंड, एंड आई जस्ट नीड 10 लाख ऑफ रुपीस. सो फादर टेक्स हिम अ लिटिल अवे एंड सेज, ऐसा है कि तुम्हारी उम्र में मुझे भी एक ऐसा आइडिया आया था, और उस आइडिया के कारण ही आज हम ये 1 BHK फ्लैट में रहते हैं. मेरे पिताजी ने भी मुझे 10 लाख रुपए दिए थे. उस समय एक बंगले में रहते थे हम 7 बेडरूम के, बट वो आइडिया की ये बात है कि आज हम 1 BHK में आ गए, तो मैं ये गलती नहीं करूंगा करके. तो इस माहौल से इंडिया का स्टार्टअप वाला स्टार्टअप शुरू करता है. बिकॉज द सोसाइटी, आवर इंडियन सोसाइटी अनफॉर्चुनेटली हेट्स फेलियर. आप 12th में फेल हो, 11th में फेल हो, कहीं फेल हो, नंबर 2 को कोई याद नहीं रखता. यहाँ हम चाहते हैं सिर्फ सक्सेस. एंड लाइक ही सेड, and I'm also a living example, I flunked my 12th in mathematics, 0.9 out of 100, and I declared it from every forum. I couldn't even get into double figures. Anyway, my story is separate, but today we have 2 stories happening here. What I'm saying is, as a culture, as a society, we should start encouraging failure. And there's one, I'm forgetting the name now, he said fail fast. जितनी जल्दी आप अभी fail होगे, उतनी जल्दी दूसरा success आप create करोगे. तो let's understand from Pallavi, how did, she's not a product designer, तो प्रोडक्ट का आइडिया आना एक बात है, पर वो आइडिया से लीप लेके एग्जीक्यूशन तक जाना और क्या उस दौरान होता है, उस प्रोडक्ट को उन्होंने डिवाइस कैसे किया, एक झटके में हो गया कि स्टेप बाय स्टेप हुआ, आज जो हो गया कि वो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट है, उसके आगे कैसे इवॉल्व करेंगे, दैट स्टोरी वी वुड वांट टू नो पल्लवी.
Sure. Uh, so, okay, the product story for us is very interesting. So, as I said, we started by experimenting on our own baby. I think सबसे important जो बात होती है, you have to it's a continuous improvement process. You can never say कि ये best product है. Even iPhone says the best iPhone ever. क्योंकि उनको पता है there will be a better iPhone coming in, right? So even we always say that this is our best diaper ever, but there will be something better coming in. Now where do ideas come from, right? Every day product में हम लोग कुछ innovate करते हैं, कुछ try करते हैं. Where do ideas come from? They come from your customers. There's no other place where you'll get ideas from. So most important thing that we do is we have a community of 80,000 parents who continuously discuss diapers. They continuously discuss super bottoms. I just had one of our customers reach out and share some of the pictures. So these kind of passionate customers, mothers, they come to us and say कि पल्लवी ये एक बटन है ना, ये अगर इधर होता ना तो शायद कुछ फर्क पड़ता. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम लोग उनको ही बोलते हैं ठीक है चलो आप बताओ. We make samples and we send it to them. We send it to the mothers. So we have a list. So my product development team, they'll be like पल्लवी हमें 7 किलो के 2 बच्चे, 10 किलो के 5 बच्चे और we have to test like this. And we have an entire database. We reach out to those customers, we test with them, and trust me, mothers give such authentic feedback. इतना detailed feedback देते हैं, drawing वॉइंग निकाल के feedback देते हैं. Not just the mothers, their mothers also give us feedback. Saying पल्लवी आपके डायपर में ना ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये थोड़ा सॉल्व कर दो, ये कपड़ा ट्राई करो, ये शेप ट्राई करो. So I think the most critical thing that we have learned and done right in our journey is talk to our customers every day. First hand real time, FHRT हम लोग बोलते हैं उसको, first hand real time feedback that we get from customers directly goes to our product team and the product team works on it. Now a PNG also has a product team and a huge research budgets, but they don't talk to the customers as directly as we do because we sell directly from our website. We have the customer's phone number. PNG distributors, retailers, उनका network बहुत अलग है. They are different. They are the giants. But what we do is we talk to customers directly. Phone उठा के मैं बात कर लेती हूँ कि अच्छा बताओ product क्यों अच्छा नहीं लगा. We know and then we use it and then we reiterate and we keep innovating. And that is today the diaper that we sell is the 15th version. We have filed a patent on it. And we are still working on a next version, and in the next 3-4 months probably we'll have a better product and we'll discard the current one. But that's how it is.
Very good. So she's already on to the 50th version. यहाँ कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपने product journey में evolution किया है, जो पहले start किया था आज भी वही है? There is no other way to extinction than that. No better way to extinction than that. You have to constantly evolve. Did it happen in your journey to what you started with actually, and now where you are in terms of the first product, first solution to today? How has that evolution been for you?
See, in our field, evolution happens, products evolve literally every year. And that was happening. So at a consistent growth rate, that was happening at a normal growth rate up to 2022. So December 2022, everything changed in the world. And a massive change happened in December 2022. Can anyone tell me what changed in the technology field in 2022? ChatGPT got introduced. AI existed even before that, but ChatGPT came into existence from there. And that has been a massive change that has happened in our industry. Now what is happening is, until that point of time, I also used to feel that I am able to match the pace of growth that is happening in our industry. I am able to understand. I was overconfident that point of time that I understand every change that is happening in the technology industry. But let me tell you that last 12 months, 13 months, I have started feeling that no, the change that is happening, it is happening at such a massive rate that I am not able to get into the pace of it. I am not able to understand what exactly is happening in the technology industry all over the world. Whatever happened in last 100 years, in next 5, 6 years, 10 years, far more than that, maybe 10 times of that would happen in next 10 years time. That is the kind of change that is going to happen. So technology is the field you have to be. A lot of people keep on asking me that my son or my daughter or my grandson, my granddaughter, should I put them in computer engineering, because a lot of people will lose jobs because of AI, ML, AR, nothing else will exist. This will also get replaced. This technology will also get replaced. Mics will also get replaced with something better tomorrow. Everything is going to be replaced. The phones that we use today, they will also be completely different. We may probably not see a screen at all, because eyes also have a limitation. A lot of people are struggling with their eyes today because of, so eyes will also not need to do the job. You will automatically get stimulations, you will connect with your brain, some technology would be there. All these changes are coming in, and this we have to understand that we have to embrace the change. And all the perceptions that you have had till date, they all will change. Let me give you an example of how we create perception. My partner in the UK, he called me one day and told me, Piyush, do you know how much heat it is there today in Durham? I said, no, I don't know. What. Everyone on the road is falling, people are getting hospitalized. I said, what has happened in Durham? He said, the temperature has crossed 22 degrees Celsius. So I told him, boss, 22 degrees Celsius, in India people wear sweaters, people wear jacket. If it goes to 22 degrees Celsius, no, you cannot imagine that is the kind of temperature here. And when I went to Iraq, I saw that at 50 degrees Celsius also, people were extremely comfortable. They were wearing exactly the attire I am wearing today, same attire of people everywhere in Iraq. And they are walking in sun. And I asked them, boss, it is 50 degrees Celsius, the car is showing 50 degrees Celsius, why are you not inside? There is no tree anywhere, no shade anywhere in Iraq. They said, boss, this is not our summer. So I said, when is your summer? They said, summer is next month, when it will go to 57 degrees Celsius. So that is considered as summer over there. So it is all perception. We all have to get rid of the perceptions in our mind that technology will do this, Technology is the only field that is going to survive tomorrow. Mechanical engineering, production engineering, so many other engineering fields will vanish completely. So your grandchildren's, your children's, they will all have to do something around technology only in the future.
So, yeah, thank you. We've looked at briefly now, we've understood some issues that confront startups. But the key issue we need to talk about, as we said, 90% of startups fail. So I'm sure the journey for you hasn't been all hunky-dory, right? It's not been one success after the other, succession of successes. There would be huge challenges. What were these challenges that you can talk about, and how did you overcome them? We want to know points where you felt you had to just give up now, enough is enough. Did you reach that point?
I think I often, very often, and my husband is sitting in the audience and I'm sure he must be smiling there thinking about how many times I reached that point. But jokes apart, I think every entrepreneur reaches, it's not an easy journey. I think Shark Tank ने startups को काफी glamorize कर दिया है, but it is not glamorous, let me tell you. It is not at all like that. So some of the failures, I would say challenges, I won't say failures, were that some products didn't work. Customers sometimes came back with very harsh feedback. Sometimes, investments didn't work out. There were challenges. So one example I'll give you. As a woman entrepreneur, when I started to raise funds and I went to investors, they said कि आपके कंपनी में तभी पैसा डालेंगे जब आपके हस्बैंड ज्वाइन करेंगे. क्यों? बोलते नहीं कर सकते, हमारा पॉलिसी है, आप तो लेडीज हो, आप कल को उठ के कहीं पे भी चले जाओगे तो क्या. So now this was very disturbing, but it's okay, it's a part of life. Then there was one salesperson that I had, and he used to cover the Mumbai market for me, one of my biggest markets. And one fine day, my supplier called me and tells me that, Pallavi, there's some chap called Sandeep and he's reached out and same product बना के आपके market में लाने की सोच रहा है शायद. तो मैंने बोला अच्छा ठीक है. तो we got scared. I was genuinely anxious, but I spoke to my mom's team and I said यार ऐसे ऐसे होने वाला है, अपना ही product लेके अपना ही sales वाला बंदा market में लाने वाला है, क्या करें? बोले पल्लवी जो 6 महीने बाद करने वाले थे 3 महीने में कर लेते. Let's change the product. जो innovation चालू था, let's do it. So by the time his product hit the market, it was obsolete. So, but Thank you. I think what I have learned through this journey is just keep at it, keep at it. Be resilient, like be insanely resilient. Just keep at it. Talk to people, take advice, listen. You know, I think one thing that entrepreneurs do not have is a boss telling them what to do.
Sorry again?
A boss telling them what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to decide that you are right. You have to decide that you're wrong. And sometimes I miss that. Sometimes I miss someone who I can blame for my failures, but there's nobody. But I think what really that has helped me is there have been people who have guided me at the right time, and I have met the right people who told me what to do, what not to do. I in fact remember picking Piyush's brain on a lot of HR issues one day, and he's a very, of course he's a very senior person in the business world. So and HR issues are big. They define the organization, and I remember talking to him a lot on that. So I think I have been very lucky to get the guidance from very seasoned people at the right time, and listening to them is important, and then doing what you feel like is also very important. So I think resilience matters. Failures will come, challenges will come. You just have to keep at it, and that's it.
So, of course, we'll take your HR advice. If she did and she's successful, we should all take his HR advice, right? But before that, I had another question. When you started off, how important was team building for you, and how did you pick the right kind of team? What were the key attributes you looked at? Because no one does it all alone. We glamorize the guy who's in the front always, but it's the team that is actually performing. So what were the attributes you were looking for when you were selecting your team? Of course, technical things would remain there, but other than technical, be qualification, etc. And then, as she said, how did you keep them motivated and focused on a vision that you had?
So one thing I strictly follow now is not to look at qualifications of people at all. So the only thing that matters to me while hiring anyone is passion. I try to identify if a person, so one person whom I had hired, he was so poor at English, like we were communicating with British customers, American customers, so I very clearly told him that, boss, your English is so poor that I cannot put you in front of my customers. My customers will be pissed off completely if we actually expose you to those kind of customers. So 3 times I had rejected him. Again, he came to the office 4th time and he said like, I want to appear for the interview and I want you to interview me again. I have further improved on my English. And again, I would see the same thing that he has not improved in his English at all. But then I saw that there was passion. Somewhere deep inside him, there was passion. He wanted to work with us only. And similarly, I have seen some of the pantry boys also in our organization, a sweeper in our organization. They came forward and say that I want an opportunity to work on the servers. I want to work on system administration, databases. So I said like, let us give us an opportunity. And let me tell you, a boy who came from a very, very humble background, his father and he himself worked in a mill. Then after that, couple of years, he worked in our organization as a pantry boy. And from there, today, he's such a senior system administration that he's leading more than 100 people today. Another person whose father and mother were farm laborers. Farm laborers means like those who are here, they may know Shet Mazur. So his father and mother, they worked in farms of other people. He joined our organization and there is an org of 300 people under him today. That kind of people are successful today because of purely one thing, and that is passion. They have something inside them that drives them all the time. And you also must be having some or the other people in your family, your kids, your grandchildren, must be very, very passionate. But what we do is our academia tries to suppress passion. If you don't walk in a line, then you are forced to walk in the line or you're kicked out of the line. But what I do with my kids, exactly that, this is something which will help you, because when we travel, when we go abroad, whenever my kids start running, because they are full of energy, they are packets of energy. And within 15 seconds, they would be 100 meters away from us. So I give them a target that go and touch that thing which is beyond 100 meters and come back. Earlier, what was happening when they started running, Komal started shouting, and then Komal also, she cannot match their speed. So she would just shout, "मैं ये कर दूंगी, वो कर दूंगी," वगैरह, and then they would stop. But now I know that whenever they will get an opportunity, they will run. So I give them a target, run and come back, run and come back. So same thing we need to do with our next generation also. They want to experiment. Give them that window, give them that opportunity, that run, experiment, do this, do that, and let them fail. Small, small failures are something that is very, very important. You know that what is your limit. If you have 1 crore budget to fund your startup, let him make a mistake of 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees. Absolutely no problem in making that kind of mistake, because the knowledge, the experience that comes out of this small mistakes today is exactly Dr. Sanjay Arora also mentioned that fail fast. Let them experience failure frequently. Let them come and have that conversation with you that I have failed, I am feeling guilty, I am feeling so embarrassed now, what should I do? And those conversations are going to be the defining moments of the startups, because what they will see 1 year, 2 year down the line would take them to 10 crore top line, 20 crore top line, 50 crore top line, exactly where Pallavi and her organization is heading now. That in the initial days when you have a startup, you don't want to take those risks of 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees. But today, she can take a risk of 1 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore rupees also, because she has come out of that experience. So exactly this is what we need to do with the passionate people. Nurture their passion, make them more. And yeah, one important thing, that if, let's say there is someone in your family, you want them to become an entrepreneur, but they don't have passion today. To instill passion in people, start the reward mechanism. How to reward them? Give them small, small targets. Tell them that you will get food only if you achieve this. You will get this only if you achieve this. And set this target for yourself. If you don't start setting targets for people, if everyone in your family gets everything so comfortably, your ancestors have earned so much for your family that everything is coming so easily, no one in your family will have passion then, because everything has come so ready-made, everything is served on the platter all the time. So setting certain targets for them to achieve, and then only get the next meal, is very, very important to instill passion in your family members.
Passion, incentivization, getting kids to being happy with, if, when they fail a little, so that they come back. All these are wisdom, pearls of wisdoms that we're getting from him. I hope you take them back with you. Now, Peter Drucker is one very famous quote from it, that business has only 2 core functions: innovation and marketing. Everything else is a support structure. So innovation, you already mentioned, the product itself was a huge innovation. Most startups fail or stumble at the point of marketing. Since I'm also a consultant, a lot of them come to us, how do we market? We've got the idea, we've got the basic bootstrapping money, etc. in place. How do we go about and market? So what advice would you leave people with here, with your experience, in terms of marketing the idea and marketing the product? Because I'm sure first few customers will be friend and family. What after that? How do you scale up in marketing?
So I think today the world is so connected that a bad product never sells, right? It will sell for some time, but it will stop selling at some point. There are people who talk to each other. Talking to each other has become very easy. So the first part, innovation, is actually marketing. Your product has to be really good so that it doesn't need marketing. People will market. You cannot cut corners on the product. एक ज़माना था जब एवरेज प्रोडक्ट बना के सुपर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करके आप बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड बना सकते थे. अब वैसा नहीं है. एवरेज प्रोडक्ट्स विल नॉट वर्क. You will have to have a superior product. You have to innovate. So innovation is actually the best marketing. Honestly, अगर आपका product अच्छा है, आपका customer marketing कर देगा, because social media है. There are people talking to each other. People reaching out to, even in B2B, people reach out to take feedback saying ठीक है क्या या नहीं है. And then you go ahead, right? So if the product is not good, nothing is going to work. I think good product is the best marketing. That's how I will put it. But to answer your question a little more technically, of course, use digital media. There's Google, there's Facebook. It's evolving. Zamane ke saath chalo. Every day, like Piyush said, every day things are changing so fast. You have to move with it. You cannot say कि नहीं मैं तो अपनी तरीके से ही marketing करूँगा. नहीं, but अगर बंदा Instagram पे, तो आपको Instagram पे जाना पड़ेगा. There is no other choice. If your customer is on LinkedIn, go to LinkedIn and talk there. You will find a lot of people who will help you also on this. But yeah, I think that's what I.
So I've just been indicated that Anupam Kher is around here and we need to curtail this session. But before that, I would want last pearl of wisdom from him. All those people sitting here, if they want to do a startup or kids want to do a startup, a 1 minute answer for them, what should they look at in terms of not failing too fast, too much, and to becoming a success? What are your key learnings that you would want to leave them with?
Identify the uniqueness of the idea. How unique is that idea? Whether that idea is already existing. And nowadays you have got bots available, this chatbot, whether it is ChatGPT, whether it is Bard, those will also guide you very quickly that whether this thing exists or not. Because a lot of startups comes to me and young kids will come to me and they'll say that I have this very unique idea and this unique idea is not available with anyone in the market. I simply copy that idea, put that idea in the search box, and I'll check whether it already exists, and then a list of 10 such companies would come out that this idea. So the idea's uniqueness is very, very important.
Sure.
And profitability is also the most important thing, because there was a period of 10 years in the Indian startups where loss-making startups were becoming very, very successful. But let me tell you that majority, almost 98, 99% of those startups which were loss-making startups have failed. So now it is all about profit-making startups. So you have to target to become profitable, like whatever 50 lakh, 1 crore kind of a capital you will start the startup with. You have to make sure that at the end of the 12th month, you are profitable. You don't want to run a startup which continues to make losses just for the sake of creating a brand awareness or acquiring customers. But you don't want to burn cash of external investors. And because of this model, the 10-year model of India, we have created a lot of negative image for India abroad. Now, foreign investors are not wanting to invest in India. The reason being that companies here just take away your money and make sure the model is very, very ethical. You may not earn money, you may have to shut down tomorrow, but do not run an unethical business model. Do not give something to the people. Do not sell something which damages health of people, damages mental peace of people, like making video games which damage health of people. We don't want to do that, because in the long run, that gives you a lot of disrepute and a lot of people die and a lot of people don't feel well because of your business, and you end up in a disaster. So running an ethical business model, because whenever I've made mistakes with ethics, I have suffered. So I have experimented a lot with ethics, I have experimented a lot with truth, but eventually the system around us, the entire universe around us runs only on the principle of truth, only runs on a principle of ethics. Today or tomorrow you have to suffer if you run an unethical business model. So it is very important to run an ethical business model that will survive for generations.
What a wonderful note to end on, ethics. And I saw people clapping, and of course it's a Rotary forum, and people should be clapping on ethics because we have the four-way test. The filter, you can filter any of your thoughts, ideas through this four-way test to figure out whether you're ethical or not. With those words of wisdom from two wonderful entrepreneurs that are with us this morning, I bid goodbye to you and hand over the rostrum back to the ladies here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being so patient and listening to us. Thanks.
What an inspiring session it was. I am sure everyone has a lot to take home from both the first generation and passionate entrepreneurs. Thank you, Pallavi ji and Piyush ji, for coming over. I request Asha to felicitate both of them.
I request all the audience to please take their seats. Let us not make any chaos. We are all dignified Rotarians. Everyone please take their seats, please. Please, I request all Rotarians to take their seats. Onkar.
Please be seated.
Sergeant at Arms are requested to Hello everyone, please be seated.